Greetings everyone, my name is Etterville, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Super Danny Powered Up. In the last part, I completed the first 3 stages of Wily Fortress B. And now it's time to move on to Wily Fortress 4. In this part, we accomplished what we were supposed to do in Wily Stage 4. Of the A part, that is. And in that case, it's now time for the World Master rematches. Just trying to make a decision here who to go after first. And first off, I'm going after Cutman. Now, because I was left over with a little bit less Crash Bomb energy from the last stage, I had to improvise and use some other World Masters to make up the differential. And of course, this miss really cost me in the next boss fight, which I later realized. The alternate weakness of Cutman is actually Fireman, thankfully, which is another nice thing I like about this game, and the fact that World Masters have multiple weaknesses. Also like the fact that the Cutman can get damaged by all those fireballs left on the ground. A jump cut there, as I actually died in the next boss fight against Iceman. Iceman's Ice Slasher is really powerful against Fireman, it seems, even though Fireman is actually his weakness. As shown here, it takes about a quarter of his health bar down. The alternate weakness of Iceman is Electman's Elect Beam, which makes sense really, as that was his original weakness. But be really cautious when using Electman, as, well, he's more fragile. Yep, there's Electman again, and as usual I'll be using Quickman as I did before. Unfortunately, unlike last time, I kind of did this more incompetently. But really, it's a really fun boss fight using Quickman, especially with 2 speedster characters. There's Fireman again. Well, just use Bubble Man basically. Poor Fireman. Originally he was so difficult in Mega Man 1 because he didn't flinch against his weakness, but now he's a pushover. Here's Metal Man. Normally his weakness is, well... Normally his weakness would be the Elect Beam, or Quickman's Quick Boomerang. But in this case, he retains his main weakness from Mega Man 2. In other words, he's weak against his own weapon, the Metal Braids, and can get 2-shotted by them. Crashman's weakness, which I didn't actually show in the main run, or earlier, is the Metal Blades. And as I said before, I really should have gone after Electman first, or Quickman. Now with the 8 directional shots, it makes it really easy to juke him into doing what you want. Here's Quickman. Quickman's weakness is the Ice Slasher, as ice freezes and slows down things. Though considering how slow Iceman moves and how fast Quickman goes, you have to anticipate your shots and try filling the screen with them. But Quickman, because he retains his fragility, he's really easy to take out with the Ice Slasher, even without a dew tank. And last but not least is poor Bubble Man. Even though he's very annoying and hard to take out Buster only, with Cutman's cut arcs, he's pushover as well. Really though, the only boss I would say who's pretty difficult even with his weakness is Iceman and Electman. with that out of the way, it's time to fight the first Wily machine of this game. At this point, it was here that I realized that I didn't have enough weapon energy left for his weakness. The main weakness of this Wily machine is actually the crash bombs. First phase is weak against the fire wave, second phase is weak against the crash bombs. Unfortunately, I completely exhausted those, so I had to improvise. And sadly, to another degree, all the other weapons I have only do one point of damage per shot. There are 2 secret weapons which could have done more damage, but I don't have them. So instead I had to use all my other Master weapons. Or, of course, we could just do the classic Mega Man 2 style, which this boss originated from, and just go with Super Danny himself. He's still as annoying as before. As such, I wasted about 3 or 4 D-tanks in this entire fight. Really though, there's nothing much more to say about this boss other than dodge all these bouncing the pellets by just sliding under them and carefully jumping over everything. And with that, the first Wily machine is down. It's time to follow Wily to supposedly the final stage of this game. And this is where things get really unique. As the previous stages were kind of anglamations of previous Mega Man fortresses or stages, with some added additions, but this one is really unique. Of course, this also has one of my most hated sections of this game. It'll be coming up very soon. Be careful while traversing over here, as you can get knocked into these pits by either one of these Sniper Joes or one of those propellers on the top. This is much more of an issue in hard mode. This room. It's another one of these disappearing Yoku block rooms. I died 3 times in this room trying to get used to the pattern, so I decided to do a jump cut. The next one isn't too bad, but it's still kind of frustrating to get through. Yeah, I really wish there was a rush jet utility or a spike guard or bead so we can skip this section. I didn't really mind it as much as Yoku Man's stage of Mega Man Unlimited, but over here, with less precision, and the fact it's instant death, so annoying. But that's over. But the most unique part of this stage is coming up pretty soon. In this section, you switch off to Super Danny, and you pilot this spaceship of sorts. You basically have to direct this spaceship through a gauntlet of all these spikes, while collecting these fuel tanks so you don't run out of fuel and fall to your death and crash into these spikes. Please keep in mind that the fuel tanks will refill your fuel to max, so use it when you're nearly at the end of your gauge, as you don't want to run out of fuel tanks to be used in the vicinity. That nearly got me several times in this run. I do like this section as it's a break from all the mixed stages from before. Alright, now with that section out of the way, we're getting close to the end of this stage. The deft dodge over there. Just taking my stock of inventory one more time. And Blyka was generous enough to leave these weapon pellets from before. Time to fall down this large pit, and it's time to fight the Wily alien from the end of Mega Man 2. The Wily alien's main weakness is... there are only two weaknesses basically. He has his original weakness of the bubble lead from Mega Man 2, but that's not his primary weakness in this game. This time it's the Ice Slasher. Thankfully so, as using the bubble lead against him is kind of finicky. Not very finicky, but as we probably remember from Mega Man 2 if we played it, is that because of the bubble lead's short arc, it makes it kind of difficult to aim at when Wily is trying to travel in this figure 8 pattern and shooting all these pellets at you. So it's better to use the Ice Slasher and guide those shots towards him. But really though, with the Ice Slasher, this boss is not too hard, as long as you can dodge his figure 8 patterns and aimed shots. And with that, Wily is down, begging for mercy as usual.
Awesome.
But wait, no, this is Mega Man 3 logic again. Apparently this was a fake Dr. Wily. And so, like Mega Man 2, 3, time for one last stage after the supposed last stage. And honest this time, this is really the last stage. No more Wily Fortresses to go through, no more levels after this. Now, this music track, I think it's a remix of We're the Robots from Mega Man 9 Wily Stage 2, but it sounds a bit different. Either way, it's one of my favorite tracks of this game. A suitable climax to the end of this game. That, this is the final room, and then we'll be facing the final form of Dr. Wily. And here's the final fight. This time we're fighting against the Wily Capsule. The Wily Capsule disappears, reappears after certain sections. He may do one of two things, basically. After he teleports onto his spot, he'll fire a series of 4 or 5 pellets at you, at your current position, so make sure to guide them away from you. And then after that, he'll vanish and release a spread of 8 pellets from his current position. So make sure to dodge it by going out of the way. And he'll repeat this pattern, rinse, repeat. It's kind of disappointing in a way, considering that it's a completely set pattern compared to the other Wily fight, which was a little bit more, well, random. And his weakness is Cutman's cut arcs. Or you could use Quickman's quick boomerangs or Bubbleman's bubble lead. And thus, we've defeated Dr. Wily. And all we wanted in this game was actually his autograph. It's kind of funny when you think about it. I presume Dr. Wily was thinking we were trying to take him to jail. And thus, we end with the Mega Man 3 ending theme. And a book of quotes of each of the Robot Masters fought, taken from the Ruby Spears Mega Man cartoon. Thus, we end with a picture of Super Danny staring off to the sunset, Proto Man's face in the distance, even though we never have seen Proto Man in the game, other than the costume, so a bit odd. But that's all for Super Danny Powered Up, folks. Overall, I don't know what to say. Compared to the other two Mega Man fan games I've Let's Played on this channel, those being Rock Force and Unlimited, well, I would say that I didn't really enjoy Super Danny Powered Up as much as the former two. Even though this is a huge leaps improvement from the original Super Danny game from Blyka's Door, I'd say this has some finickiness with the level design. I feel like the level design is a bit overly harsh or unforgiving in several parts, whereas in other ones it's solid but a little bit too easy. And of course there's also the fact that as it plays in 30 FPS, there's less reaction time so you can more easily fall into a pit, which was less an issue with the 60 FPS Mega Man fan games. But overall, I do like the cross fusions in all the sorts of abilities that were enabled by having all those. With all the Roadmaster's unique abilities, unique power-ups. It really changed the way he was playing and also forced me as a player to think differently, especially with Electman and Cutman having to dodge more projectiles. And this variety in Robot Masters was really expanded upon in Super Danny 2, which I may be playing in the future. Will I be playing the hard mode of this game? Maybe. There's been a new update in December, so I'll keep you updated and posted on that. But anyways, I thank you all for watching me playing this LP. Thanks, and have a nice day. Doodles!